Hello again, my name is Leo Falcom and I'm a technology concierge at Courtesy Acura in Littleton, Colorado. I'm here with a beautiful new 2017 Acura TLX today. It's going to help me go over another lesson with Leo. Today's lesson is going to go over the voice commands, more specifically the navigation commands on the car. So first thing you got to remember when using a voice command with the Acura model that you're in is you always have to push the talk button first. The talk button is located on the lower left of the steering wheel. It looks like a face with 3 waves out of the mouth. When you talk to the car, you're going to want to push and release this button quickly. It's going to be like a quick tap. What you'll notice is the top display will go ahead and change to a new screen where it's going to show us our main verbal commands. Today's verbal commands are going to focus around navigation. We're going to put an address in verbally, and then we'll do an example of finding a specific place verbally. So one thing to also remember when you're doing this is you always have to wait for your turn. When you push the talk button and the screen changes, here in the upper left of the top display, there will be 3 boxes displayed. Those boxes will also display in the middle of the dashboard, just behind the steering wheel. The first box lights up when the vehicle is talking to you to give you verbal help for the commands to give. The second box lights up when it's your turn to talk. You always have to wait for your turn before you give your verbal command. So to start this off, of course, we're going to push the talk button. Then we're going to give our first verbal command, which is going to be the word navigation. Anytime we want to use the navigation system verbally, we have to give it that prompt first that we want to use the navigation. As I proceed through, you'll kind of see how the steps go. The first command to give is going to be the word navigation. The second command I'm going to give is the number associated with the line item that I want to choose. So I will choose the number associated with the word address. The third command that I will give when it's my turn to give that command is going to be the actual address all the way through the state, leaving out the zip code. You'll catch the rhythm and cadence that I use to give the address, and it's very specific. You can't go too fast or it'll cut you off. You can't go too slow or she's just not going to understand what you have to say. And here we go. Pushing the talk button.
The voice prompt can be interrupted at any time by pressing the talk button again and saying a command immediately. After the beep, say a command.
Navigation.
After the beep, say a command.
1.
After the beep, say a command.
7590 South Broadway, Littleton, Colorado.
Colorado. After the beep, say a command.
This is okay. 1.
Littleton.
Just didn't understand. Needed some time. That's okay. Needed confirmation is what it needed. So I set the number to the left
South
side
Broadway.
of the word that I wanted.
7590. After the beep, say a command.
1. And of course it chose the line item that I wanted. Here it's now calculating the route, and it's taking us back to our dealership.
Continue to follow the road for 1 mile.
Now there's a couple more steps that are involved in the next example that I'm going to give, but it's going to be very easy to follow along with this video that we're doing. I want to be able to find a specific place using my voice, whether that's a Wells Fargo or a King Soopers or a Walmart. As I progress through, you're going to notice I'm going to choose a little bit or a few different options, and all the while moving. So here we go. We're going to start it off again. We want to use the navigation system, so the first command needs to be the word navigation.
The voice prompt can be interrupted at
Always
any time
wait
by
for your
pressing
turn.
the talk button again and saying a command immediately. After the beep, say a command.
Navigation.
After the beep, say a command.
2.
After the beep, say a command.
Restaurant.
After the beep, say a command.
Starbucks.
Starbucks.
Voila. We had to tell it kind of a generalization of what we were looking for, and then give it a more specific in that category.
After the beep, say a command.
1. And of course, this is choosing the closest to me. 1.
In about a quarter mile, make a U-turn on Fairview Parkway.
And unfortunately, I missed the turn for my Starbucks, but it's giving me directions back to the closest Starbucks. You can do this with anything. Starbucks, Wells Fargo, Denver International Airport, Walgreens, whatever your mind can imagine, you can now ask the vehicle for. And when you ask it for that specific place, it's going to give you the closest options to you within a 50-mile radius. So the last example that I'd like to give for the navigation verbal commands is how to find a category or kind of a non-specific place by using the categories option through the navigation system. If I was in an area of town or a completely different town that I wasn't familiar with, I could find a restaurant based on the type of food they sell. I could find a bank or an ATM, a gas station if I was running low on fuel on a road trip. Well, whatever it happened to be, there's over 16 million different places that we can already identify through the car's navigation system. I'm just going to do an example of one today and how to find one closest to you. So again, we're going to push the talk button to start. We're going to wait for our turn. Actually, you know what, this time I'm going to go ahead and skip to my turn. So when I push the button once, she's going to start talking to me. When I push the button a second time, it will immediately go to my turn to speak, just so we can go a little bit quicker on this example. And here we go.
The voice prompt.
Navigation.
After the beep, say a command.
3.
After the beep, say a command.
Find nearest Italian restaurant.
4. After the beep, say a command.
Next.
After the beep, say a command.
5.
After the beep, say a command.
1. And we're on the way to the garlic knot, the closest garlic knot to my location.
In about a half mile, make a right turn on East Arapahoe Road.
I always forget that she likes to interrupt me. Easiest way to cancel the route, go to menu, down to cancel route. Now, there were a couple extra steps in there that I didn't explain fully before we started. On the third step, where I needed to actually say the words find nearest, that step is required in that screen, and then basically you just have to add on to it. Find nearest what? You're not looking for a Wells Fargo, you're looking for a bank. You're not looking for a Bradley Sinclair, you're looking for a gas station. I don't need an auto zone, I need an auto parts store type situations, and these are all located through the navigation system. Under the place categories list is a full list of all the different types of categories and subcategories that they break down into that you can ask the vehicle for. I want to thank you for joining me in another lesson with Leo. Of course, the navigation commands, we barely scratched the surface. If and when you have questions about how to use these verbal commands, please don't hesitate to give me a call here at the dealership. That number is 303-795-7800. Just ask for Leo, like the lion, or at the tech guy, and they're going to transfer you right to me. These voice commands are not only available on this particular model TLX, but also on newer model RDXs as well as MDXs. All use the same type of verbal commands. Please give me a call if for some reason you have a different software system. I'm happy to help in any way that I can.